How about a matter of first principles? You mentioned these premium increases, but they're not happening as a result of a decision by the government.
Right.
You were against the individual mandate during the campaign. Under this mandate, the government is forcing people to spend money, fining you if you don't. How is that not a tax? I don't think I'm making it up. Merriam-Webster's dictionary. Tax, a charge usually of money imposed by authority on persons or property for public purposes.
George, the fact that you looked up Merriam's dictionary, that the definition of tax increase indicates to me that you're stretching a little bit right now.
So in this health care bill, under $900 billion apparently, is a provision that
829.
Right, is a provision for healthcare insurance companies to get immunity, right? And the implications of this, well, we'll let Greta talk about that.
Congressman John Shadegg just introduced a resolution about a problem he sees in the health care bill that could affect you directly. Joining us live is Congressman John Shadegg. Good evening, Congressman. So I see you brought all your homework and your research. So first of all, what's the problem?
Well, the problem is that in August we were talking a bill that might fine us, and now we've discovered that the bill has criminal penalties.
How is that? You mean, like, in what way? I mean, if I don't do something under the bill, I could get charged criminally?
What the bill says is that this is a tax. If you don't buy health insurance and you don't buy government-approved health insurance, then they will impose a tax on you, and they told you how much the tax was. But unfortunately, the code says that if you don't pay the tax, that's a misdemeanor, and we can fine you more, in this case an additional $25,000, and on top of that, we can put you in jail for up to a year. So the bill that we were all upset about in August, because we thought it had some fines in it, if people didn't buy the government-approved health insurance, we now discover has an additional $25,000 in fines and jail time.
What's the response when you point this out to your colleagues?
You know, I thought the idea of health care reform was to help the uninsured.
Actually, in some facilities, jail facilities, you can get medical care.
There we go, yeah.
So, I mean, maybe that's
somebody
the
said it will solve the housing crisis, you know.
Solve everything all at once.
So if you don't buy government-approved health insurance, and that's an important part of it. If you, for example, have an HSA and the government doesn't approve it, and you don't go buy another plan, you get fined or maybe go to jail. If you want to go to a naturopath or a homeopath, no, that's not approved by the government.
I'm not suggesting that anyone should get into trouble with the law, but can you imagine anything so bizarre as to put, like, let's say you can't afford insurance for whatever reason, that, I mean, can you imagine the sheriff going out and running you and throwing you in jail? I mean, it is theoretically possible under what you tell me.
People find it bizarre, but it shows how far we've gotten away from what we ought to be focused on. We ought to be focused on bringing down the cost of health care for every American so they can afford it, deal with pre-existing conditions, deal with people who can't buy coverage, help them buy coverage, not punish them with fines. Obama had it right in the campaign when he said, if you can't afford coverage to begin with, how much better off are we to fine you? But the big insurance companies...
Or send you to jail.
Yeah, or send you to jail. The big insurance companies are mad that these fines in the bill are being reduced. But you know what else is in the bill, Greta? This is amazing, and I brought this up in committee. The bill not only says you and I have to buy health insurance, but if it's an ERISA plan, which means if it's an employer-provided plan, the health insurance company gets immunity if when they decline care, when they don't give you care, you are injured or killed, they are immune from damages.
So the Democrats are giving a pass to the insurance companies.
I raised that with a pass.
Do you ever say, like, to Speaker Pelosi, hey, what's up with this? You're going to send poor people to jail because they can't buy the health insurance because they're going to get this penalty and they're going to end up in jail. And why are you giving insurance companies a pass on something like this?
I tried to raise it in committee. I asked Henry Maxman. It's on page 49 of the bill. It says that the current law that says if an insurance company injures or kills you, read a case involving Florence Corcoran where an insurance company killed her baby because they wouldn't give her the care that her treating physician said she needed. They
interfered with the doctor.
Interfered with the doctor, overruled her treating physician. She filed suit. The court came back and said, no, Congress says you have absolute immunity. That immunity is extended in this bill. I raised it with Henry Waxman. I offered an amendment to repeal that so that you could recover if they intentionally kill your child. And Mr. Waxman said, it's out of order. And I said, Mr. Mr. Waxman, who put it in the bill? Mrs. Pelosi says she's not in bed with the insurance companies. Mr. Obama is welcoming their support for this bill. So who put it in the bill? And he turned bright red, because he didn't want to talk about who wrote this bill. He didn't want to talk about the fact that the big insurance companies like the bill and like the fact that they've got immunity to continue hurting people.
We literally have 10 seconds left. Do you have any Democrat on your side on this?
I think that they have pulled out every single stop. There will be Democrats who will vote against the bill. I had a couple,
about this particular jail provision?
I had a congressman on the other side, a Democrat, come over to me after I raised it and said, wow, I want to work with you on this.
That's it.
He never came back.
Congressman, thank you, sir.
My pleasure.
Congressman.
Okay, there you go.
Great. Anybody else curious why only certain stations are reporting all of the amendments that are being voted down? At least 3 more Democrats came out today saying they are in favor of the 72-hour rule of, promising to post the health bill online before they vote so that Americans can read it. And when asked why would people not want that, it was because the American people couldn't understand. They can't understand the language. That's just going to confuse them. They shouldn't learn.
I'm a little worried about what's going on over here. Now, I will say, because I did far less assisting on the posting last night and this morning, I do notice a greater Fox bias here. I see a very anti-MSNBC bias in the clips that are available for me to play today.